Want to soar? Get a mentor. Hey, it's Nina Carmichael, and we made these videos because you're probably the most ambitious person in your circle. But you know you're capable of more, and you need that push by surrounding yourself with the best. So today, let's learn from one of the best, my husband Evan Carmichael, and 7 mindset shifts you need to make if you want to success. Enjoy! Okay, let's kick it off with rule number 1. Make the small tweak.
You want to swim forever. Adopt the mindset that you want to swim forever. Most people, if you're thinking about swimming, you're swimming to reach the island, right? If you're swimming out in the ocean, you're swimming to reach the island. The island is some goal. The island is, I want to hit 1 million subscribers, I want 1 million in revenue, or whatever, some arbitrary goal. The goal isn't to hit the island. Your intention shouldn't be to hit the island. It should be to swim. You have to love swimming. You want to swim forever. I want to swim forever. Every now and then, you might need to look back, and see how far you've come. See how far you swam. Every now and then, we need that mindset, that gratitude, that perspective to say, wow, I'm so much further ahead than I used to be, right? A big challenge with achievers is we don't feel like we've done enough. Especially high achievers, you don't feel like you've done enough. And that can often be a drive forward, but sometimes it's so overwhelming that it actually puts you in a negative state where it prevents growth. So in those moments, you look back and see how far you swam. It's like, wow, I've come a long way compared to who I used to be. The accomplishments, the belief systems, the mindset, the relationships, like the personal development, how much have you grown? If you actually think about it, how much have you grown in the past 5 years is probably crazy. If you're a fan of this channel, you're watching this video, you've grown a lot in the past 5 years. And every now and then when you're feeling low, you need that perspective shift to look back and see how far you've come. But otherwise, it's forward. Growth, more growth. You want to swim forever. You don't want to hit the island. You want to swim forever. We've all experienced those moments where you hit a goal and then what? What do you feel? You feel a moment of happiness, of accomplishment, and then like, oh, is that all there is? When I hit 1 million subscribers on YouTube, like that was the drive, that was the goal. I want to hit 1 million subscribers on YouTube. I wanted to hit it. I don't even remember what the goal. I wanted to hit it before Gary. I wanted to hit 1 million subscribers before Gary Vee, and we did it. And they're like, oh, I'm still the same person. Somehow we feel that when we accomplish something, we're going to feel different. We're going to be different. You're going to be a different person when you hit that goal. And we end up getting confused because it's not even about the goal. You become a different person in the pursuit of the goal. I've studied more successful people than most people, just in the nature of the work that I do. And there's a reason why the number 1 rule for success over and over and over and over and over and over and over again is you have to love what you do. You have to love the process. Successful people, they love the process. They love the doing. They love the actual showing up every day. I'm sitting here at a Nina's inside there. Can we see? Nina's inside at a TNT. It's a Chinese grocery store. She's inside doing shopping. I'm sitting here in the car making videos. Why? Because I like it. I like the process. It's not about how many subscribers I have on the channel. I like feeling like this matters, that I'm so grateful that thank you. Honestly, thank you for watching this video. I'm so grateful that you're here watching this video, that I could make something from my car that's worthy of somebody else's attention. Thank you. I love this. We've done over 10,000 videos. Why? Because I love it. Like if it's just a strategy, if you're just trying to reach the island, you drown. If you're just trying to reach the island, you drown. You have to love swimming. This is the mistake most entrepreneurs make when they're first getting started, is you're just chasing an opportunity, but you don't actually love the process. This is a great quote, one of my favorite quotes of all time. It's an African saying that beyond the mountain is more mountains. And it's similar to the swimming analogy. Beyond the mountain is more mountains. What do you do when you get to the top of the mountain? There's another mountain to climb. You don't ever want to get to the top of the mountain. Think about it. If you hit the top You're going to start to hate your life because there's no growth, because we want more growth. We want more learning. We want more progression. If you felt like you hit the top, that's the fast path down to depression. Beyond the mountain is more mountains. It's the greatest quote of all time, at least one of them. I love that one. I think of Ted Turner's father, whose goal was to be a millionaire, and then he hit the million and he killed himself because he thought, he wasn't happy with his life. He wasn't happy with his process. He wasn't happy with what he was doing every day. But if he hit $1 million, then everything's going to change. Then he's going to be a different person. He hit his million and he was the same person. He wasn't happy. So he killed himself. So Ted Turner, who's, a billionaire, one of the wealthiest people in the world, decided, I'm going to set a goal so big that I'm not going to hit it. And that's the point of having a vision, a mission, like something so big beyond yourself that you never hit it. I want to solve the world's biggest problem, that people don't believe in themselves enough. I'm never going to do that. It's not going to happen, not in my lifetime. And yet I wake up every day trying to make that happen in my lifetime. You have to want to swim forever. So how do you do it? What are the practical steps? Like, great, it makes sense, but how do I actually start living that? A couple things. One, actually look at your life and do you enjoy what you're doing? People ask me, do I burn out in what I'm doing? Like, I don't burn out. I like it too much. Like this, making these videos, I'm going to go home after this and make more videos probably. But this video that I'm making for you right now is not draining or depleting of my energy. It's contributing to my energy. I am manufacturing energy by doing this. So that's why it's easy to do 10,000 more videos, because it gives me more than I give to it. I get more energy as a result of doing this. I'm going to be a better entrepreneur, a better husband, a better father, a better boss, a better teammate, a better mentor as a result of making this video. It gives me energy. Look at your work. That's how you avoid burnout. If I was doing things that sap my energy, if I was in charge of like washing these cars, I'd be burnt out in 5 hours. I would hate my life because I don't enjoy washing cars. I don't enjoy cars, really. So look at your schedule. Do a nice audit on your life. How many of the activities that you're doing every day are giving you energy versus taking away energy? How many of the people that you're spending time with are giving you energy versus taking away energy? And you need to start shifting from, I'm just going to chase an opportunity, I'm going to do whatever it takes. You won't. Hey, newsflash, you won't do whatever it takes. Not if you don't like it. Not if you don't love it. You won't do whatever it takes because you don't love it. And that's okay. Stop judging yourself for not working hard enough. You're not lazy. It's not that you don't want to work hard. You just don't like the thing that you're doing. This doesn't feel like work to me. So it's getting honest with yourself. It's doing an audit. It's looking at your calendar. Are you genuinely excited about the things you're about to do today and tomorrow? And if not, then we have to start to shift out of them, right? Do the things that give you energy instead of taking away. Step number 2 is then actually making a shift to your calendar, right? The fact that you look at your calendar today, tomorrow, next week, and nothing excites you. Okay, great. What can you shift? And it may require a wholesale change. It may require you doing some drastic thing, but more likely you could probably just do one small shift. Like just start building momentum. Just start doing one little thing every day to start to train yourself, to start to just push the ball a little bit forward. Because often we think we have to make some giant change, and the only answer is to move to Mexico. And then it never happens, because to move to Mexico takes you however many, months and budget and all this stuff. You get stuck in planning mode instead of doing. What's a small step? What's a small tweak that you can make to today's calendar to inject more energy into it? What's something that you're going to love doing that will give you more energy, that then now you have energy for other things as well, right? Some kind of immediate momentum.
Rule number 2, match your action to your mission.
The number one biggest thing that you are missing is momentum. You're a genius. You've got Michael Jordan level talent. You are the best in the world at something. But until you match your effort to your capabilities, your dreams will never happen. So yesterday I had a young preacher reach out to me on Instagram. Young, like early teenager, reach out to me on Instagram and say, hey Evan, I'm a preacher. I'm trying to get my career going. I want to make YouTube videos. I want to spread a message. Can you watch my video and give me some feedback? And first off, I love young entrepreneurs who are going after it, who are not just sitting there making excuses as to why they can't because they don't come from the family, they don't have the right education, they don't have the right gear to make a video. And here's this guy, just takes out his phone against a simple background, poor lighting, it doesn't matter, right? Just takes out his phone, starts recording the video, and he's pretty good, right? For a kid who's 14, 15, 16 years old, he's pretty good. He's way better than I was. He's way better than I was when I started making videos at, I don't know when I started making videos, 10 years ago. How old am I now? 39, 29. He's better at 14, 15, 16 than I was at 29. That's amazing. I love it. But here's the thing. He was only making a video once a week. And so I said, I love it, man. But you gotta match your actions to your ambitions. You gotta keep going. If you wanna be the greatest preacher on the planet, you gotta make more content. One, to practice, right? If you're a thought leader, if you're an expert, if what you are creating comes from here, and you just speak it out, you need to be making a video every day. Every day. If you can freestyle as an artist, as a rapper, you should be making a video every single day. Now, if your videos require some massive setup, not because it's about the quality of your thought, but it's about fancy stunts or something that requires a lot more, fine. But if it's thought leadership, if it's content that's just coming out of your head, right? The quality of your ideas, every single day. Once you get better, the more you do it, the better you're gonna get. It took me 350 videos until I wasn't completely embarrassed by my own content, right? I couldn't watch it back because I was too embarrassed. But oh, so bad. Now as I watch my videos, it's funny, whenever Nina comes in and she's seeing me watch my videos, I always have this big grin on my face, like I'm cheering myself on, like yeah, that's really good. And there's definitely still tons of room to improve, but it took me 350 videos before I wasn't completely embarrassed. So now I'm 6,000 or something videos in. It's hard to keep track. Your actions have to map to your ambitions. So if that's you, if you've got ideas, you've got knowledge, stop coming up with excuses and make the content, film it and post today and again tomorrow and again the next day and again the next day. And when you're creating so much content, one, again, you're getting better because the quantity leads to the quality, but two, you get less attached to one video having to be the thing. So often you make one piece of content, one painting, one song, one video, you make it, and then that has to be the thing. You're getting feedback and you're destroyed if it doesn't take off. If this video doesn't take off, great. Next, right? Next. Keep going, keep creating. You need momentum. So your actions have to map to your ambitions, right? Whatever idea you have in your head, you want to be the next Oprah of whatever industry, great. Let's see it. Let's see it in the work. Let's see it in the energy. Let's see it in the output that you are creating every single day. Now I have a 3-step process that I think will help. Let's dive in. Step number 1 is make sure your actions map to your ambitions. So look at your calendar, open up your calendar, see what you're doing for the next week. What are you doing for the next week, right? Success is habits. So you have these big ambitions, you have these lofty goals, these dreams, amazing, I want you to accomplish them. Show me in your calendar where you are spending time to actually make that happen. Because a dream alone is not enough. It can be super exciting as an entrepreneur to dream, to sit there like, man, I'm gonna create this. And we get lost in our head of all the amazing things you can do. Nothing counts until you actually get out and start executing. I've had people who came to my workshops when I was on tour earlier this year who've been sitting on a dream for a decade plus. And they're still tinkering, they're still playing with it, and it's exciting while it's still in your head. It doesn't count until you get out and start executing. And so I want to have 10 million subscribers on YouTube as my next goal. Awesome. What am I doing? I'm making videos every week, multiple times for I don't know how many channels anymore, right? Thousands of videos. We've made videos every single day for at least 5 or 6 years, at least, usually multiple videos, but we haven't missed a day in at least 5 or 6 years. And that's where the growth comes from. And it's not that I'm superhuman, right? You can do the exact same thing. Just make sure your actions map to your ambitions. You say you want this, then you have to block it off in your calendar and you have to make sure that you are spending time pursuing your goals every single week. Step number 2 is get a 254. So I have a 254 series. It's a free video series. We'll link it up down below. I've already called it out actually earlier on in this video, where every day for 254 days, I send you an unlisted video by email, private, just for you, on a certain topic. So it could be on self-love, could be on confidence, could be on motivation, could be for writers, could be for women, could be on my Black Excellence series. There's lots of different 254s. The idea here is it takes up to 254 days of consecutive action to build a habit. So if you want to change a habit, you want to change your mindset, you want to change your way of thinking, you want to be more motivated, most people don't give it enough time. It takes as long as 254 days of consecutive action to build a habit. The average is 66 days. The best case scenario is 18 days of consecutive action. So if you're trying something for 2 weeks, it's not enough time. Even in the best case scenario, it's not enough time to build a habit. And so whatever it is that you want to build, surround yourself with it. For 254 days, create your own 254 series. So if that's listening to Dan Pena, great. If that's watching my videos, great. If that's listening to a podcast, a different YouTube channel, reading a book, great. Like whoever embodies the thing that you want to own, that you want to be a part of, that you want to jump in levels to, you're here, you want to jump here. Who's playing here and doing it consistently, and then inject a piece of them into your morning routine every day, and they will pull you up. Even if you never meet Dan Pena, even if you never meet me, if you are consuming the content every day, we will pull you up. We will pull you up to the next level. It's impossible. It's not possible to watch a video from me or watch a video from Dan Pena or watch a video from whoever it is that you aspire to be like. It's impossible to watch for 254 days and pay attention, not while you're doing the dishes or something else, and pay attention and not be pulled to another level. The problem is people aren't consistent enough. So create your own 254. And step number 3 is sleep. This is kind of a weird one, but I felt like I had to say it for this video. A lot of people default to saying, I need to wake up an hour early. I need to wake up at 5 a.m. I need to go to sleep and just wake up earlier. And that can definitely work. It can be a productivity hack, but I think before worrying about giving up on sleep, there are a lot of people who don't get enough sleep, and as a result, you're not productive. Before giving up on sleep, I would say make sure that the 16 hours that you are awake are actually meaningful. Right? If you're gonna sleep for 8 hours, right? Most of you probably aren't even there, but let's say you're gonna sleep for 8 hours, great. That gives you 16 hours to be productive during the day. If you're messing around for the 16 hours, going to 17 hours will not make you more productive. You're just gonna have less sleep, be more sleep deprived, and not actually get the work done you need to. So before giving up on sleep, I would highly recommend that you audit your schedule and ask yourself, what am I doing during the 16 hours that I am awake, and how can I maximize that time to actually be productive and move my goals forward? And if you still get down to no, my 16 hours are fully optimized and I need to cut into my sleep, and that makes sense for you, awesome, go do it. But I wouldn't do that as your first default step, which is a big mistake I think a lot of entrepreneurs make.
Rule number 3, deal with negativity in your life.
The number one way to deal with negative people in your life is through empathy. It's empathy. It's not hating them back. It's not spreading negativity. It's not reminding yourself that you're better than them. It's empathy. And it's not even just feeling bad for them. It's actually connecting to them. Let me explain. I default to assuming that people are good. This is a wild idea. People are good. Humans are good. I've done the WHO exercise, the year 1 word exercise, helping people find the most important core value with so many people. And it's always something positive. I believe that 99.9999999% of people are good. There's a tiny percentage of people who enjoy killing people and maybe have a few screws loose up here. But for the most part, we're good. Everybody has dreams. Everybody has ambitions. Everybody wants to serve. Everybody wants to be in a better place than where they are right now. The problem is, a lot of people are afraid. A lot of people are in pain. A lot of people are struggling. A lot of people are suffering. A lot of people have tried. They took their shot and it didn't work out. And because they're so in pain, now they don't want other people around them to have success either. Because if they took a shot and it didn't work out, they don't want to own it, that it's on them. But if you then go off and have success, you start achieving your goals, what does that say about them? Right? It's not that the world is rigged against them, it's that they actually suck. And they don't want to admit that, and they don't want to own up to that. And so they're living in pain. And so they take it out on other people. They take it out on you, they take it out on me, they take it out on the world. They take it out on people. Right? That's what people do when they're in a lot of pain. Think about you. Think about your experiences, your life. Think about when you've been in a lot of pain, when you've struggled. Really think about this. The last time that you were struggling in a lot of pain, did you then show up as your best self in all situations? Did you maybe lose your cool? on somebody? Did you maybe insult somebody? Did you maybe say something that you're not proud of that you later would regret? Has that ever happened to you? It's not that you're a bad person. It's not that you're a toxic person. It's not that you're a hater. You were just in a lot of pain. And so the people who are throwing shade at you are in a lot of pain. They're struggling. And just recognizing that, just trying to put yourself in their shoes and look at their life. And if you know them, you can actually look at their life. And if you don't know them, you can assume things about their life. If somebody's coming and leaving a negative comment on your YouTube video, the fact that that is the highlight of their day speaks volumes about them, right? If the best part of your day is going to somebody's YouTube channel, leaving some nasty comment, that gets you feeling good. You're in a lot of, just imagine the pain that person's in. Imagine what their life is like right now. And it's a bit of a mental exercise because at the beginning, the natural reaction is to be defensive. It's like, well, no, I'm not this. And how could you call me that? And we want the people around us to support us and cheer us on and tell us that we're doing the right thing. So the natural defense mechanism kicks in where we say, no, that's not right. But if you can take a breather, you can take a step back and you can just try to have empathy, try to put yourself in their shoes, try to see that they're in a lot of pain. What it does is removes the sting from the words. It removes the venom from the words. It doesn't get you to react as emotionally. It allows you to show up more as your best self. It's one of the most valuable things you can start to practice. This is one of the things that prevents people from creating content, from posting videos, from sharing their thoughts. You've got a big mission, a message. Your story can change people's lives. Your story can change people's lives. It will change people's lives. And we're afraid to do it because of how people that we don't know or people that we do know will judge us. We're afraid that we're going to get negative comments. And that's the reason why you're not putting your message out there. We have to learn, you have to learn to stop getting in your own way and to start sharing, to start releasing, to start living your life, the life that you want, not somebody else's version of it. People are going to judge you. It doesn't say anything about you. It talks about them, their mental state, the pain that they're in, the struggle that they're in, the suffering that they're in right now. So step number one is have empathy. Empathy, empathy, empathy. Try to put yourself in their shoes, understand the pain that they're going through, and it removes the emotion from what they're saying and how they're behaving. Okay, step number two is then, is there any validity in what they're saying? Sometimes there's actually some truth to what they're saying, even if it's only 1% truth. If it's 99% negativity and 1% truth, a lot of times, when a customer writes in, maybe they're really upset. Maybe they feel cheated. Maybe they feel ripped off. Maybe they feel you didn't do your job. Maybe they got cut off in traffic in a really bad mood today, right? But maybe they're calling in to cancel or they get a refund from you. Maybe there's some validity in what they're saying. Before we just write off somebody and say, you're a negative person, you're toxic, I don't want you in my life, maybe there's actually some truth. They presented it very poorly. The packaging was terrible, right? The packaging sucked. But maybe there's some validity in the message. Maybe there's part truth that you can learn from. And I think this is really important because if you can only learn from people who package things really nicely, who sugarcoat everything, who put in this beautiful, bow to say, I love you and you're amazing and keep doing what you're doing. And I have one little tiny bit of feedback that maybe you could learn from, like maybe this one little thing, but I love you and you're amazing. Like if that's the only way that you can receive feedback, you're never going to get the feedback you need to win. Sometimes people will rage on you. Sometimes people will yell at you. Sometimes people will be rude to you. Sometimes people will call you names. Sometimes people will freak out. It's going to happen. Is there any truth, right? Once you can remove the sting because you have empathy for them, now you can actually see what they're saying and see which you can use, what you can digest and what is worth digesting, what you're just going to discard. Because there might be truth buried somewhere inside of their words that can make you better, that can still help you, that can improve your life and your situation, your business, and where you're trying to go. So step number one, remove the sting. Step number two, look for the truth, if there is. Now, there may be some that is just negative, but don't just default to thinking negative. Default to thinking maybe there's a lesson I can learn here. And step number three is then just decide, can you still be around these people or not? This is especially when they're in your life, where they're friends, with their family, the people you're seeing. You might have to disconnect for a while. You might have to, because you're not strong enough yet, you might have to not be around them because their words hurt too much still. You might have to go and build your muscle, build your empathy muscle, build your empathy muscle. Say that 10 times fast. You might have to go build that muscle. And that means you spend less time with them or kick them out of your life. Ultimately though, what I see leaders, entrepreneurs, I think you're a tree. And I wrote about this in my book, Built to Serve. I think you're a tree. What does a tree do? A tree breathes in the carbon dioxide, which too much of for humans is poison. The trees will breathe it in. They'll eat it, they'll grow from it, and then they'll spit out oxygen, positivity for the world. I see that as part of our role as leaders and as entrepreneurs, is to eat other people's negativity, grow from it, get better from it, and then spit out more positivity, more oxygen for the world. Ultimately, the people who are negative in your life, you have an ability to influence them. You have an ability to help them see the positive road, not through your advice, but through your actions. By you going off and doing your thing will inspire other people to want to change their life as well. Whoever is more confident wins. And when you're around really negative people, if you are doubting your positivity, they're going to win. They're going to drag you down. But ultimately, the goal is to get so positive, so optimistic, so happy that you pull them up. That you're more positive, you're more certain in your positivity than they are certain in their negativity. And you pull them towards making a better life decision. I hope that helps.
Also, if you want to have more self-confidence and self-belief, the science says it can take up to 254 days of consecutive action for you to shift that habit forward. So I've designed a special free program to help you get more self-belief for every day. For 254 days, I will send you an email to an unlisted video that if you watch it, will shift your confidence forward. The links to join for free are in the description below. And you have an overview of what your book is all about, and you write into them. There's usually a general email address so you can connect with them.
You can use rejection as fuel to help you go off and do something bigger and motivation to, I'm going to prove them wrong.
Surround yourself with greatness. If you want to be more confident, you need to surround yourself with things that make you feel confident.
Rule number 4, find a way.
There is always a way. There is always a way. There is always a way. There is always a way. There is always a way. When you feel stuck, when you feel hopeless, when you feel like the world is against you and you've got big, ambitious goals, remind yourself there is always a way. There is always a way. Entrepreneurship is always about how resourceful you are instead of the lack of resources. This is where people get caught up. You wish you had more money, you wish you had a different education, you wish you had different parents, you wish you lived in a different country. You're so focused on the things that are not going right in your life instead of focusing on what can I do with what I do have. There is always a way. Wife has to go shopping on filming day? Great, I'll film in the car with Timo. Hi Timo, high five. Woo. Good boy. He's so cute. Business shuts down. My dance studio closes down because of COVID. Great, move online. Like, there's always a way. I was telling my friend Mark about how I got the Honest Company for my book, Your One Word. So, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 years ago? I don't know how long ago. How long ago? When did Your One come out? Doesn't matter. I wanted to get the Honest Company because they built their business around their one word, honesty. And they were, $100 million plus company, wanted to interview them. There was only one big problem. I didn't know them. I had no connection in. And I wrote in and I didn't hear back. And I really, really wanted the company. So there's always a way. Remind yourself, there's always a way. So what I did was I wrote to TechCrunch. And TechCrunch at the time was the biggest blog / website / news site for the tech industry. And I said, hey, I messaged the managing editor, who I did not know either, right? Just cold out of the blue, said, hey, I'm writing a book and I'd love to do an interview with the Honest Company. And if I did an interview with the Honest Company, would you publish it? And we're gonna talk about these topics. And he said, yes. We just interviewed the managing editor out of the blue and he said, yes. Great. Now I can go back to the Honest Company and say, hey, I want to do an interview with you for my book and for TechCrunch. And that got me in the door, right? And that led to me doing the interview and flying to California and meeting Christopher Gavigan, who's an amazing human, and doing the interview and getting my book done. And so I didn't know the Honest Company. I didn't know TechCrunch. I had no connections in. But you remind yourself, there's always a way. And that's how you do it. You find a way. What can you do with what you do have right now? How can you be a resource? How can you be an asset? How can you help the people around you so that you can move closer to accomplishing your goals as well? So how do you do it? You know, it's easy to say, great, Evan, you don't understand me. I'm stuck in the situation right now. How do I get out of it? Everybody's against me. I tried everything. I tried everything and it's not working. How do I get out of it? It's a couple things you need to do. Number one, if you are stuck kind of in the middle of it, if you are stuck feeling overwhelmed, feeling it's not possible, feeling just you've tried everything and you're gonna give up, step number one is you have to take a break from where you are right now. Go outside, go for a walk, breathe, meditate. Because when you're in the lowest of the low, me saying be more resourceful, there's always a way, you can't actually hear it. You're not ready for the message yet because you're too low. This is why a lot of us, when we're trying to help other people, the people around us, and telling them, you're gonna make it, you can be great, they can't hear it because they're too low. So you have to get them back to normal state. You have to get yourself back to a normal state. So that comes from getting outside your environment right now. Go for a walk, get some fresh air, do some breathing, meditate, pray, like whatever you need to do to get back to a normal state. So you're not a depressed human, but you can actually be open and receptive to a message, okay? So that's step number one, if you're in the middle of it. Number two is, you need to be around the things that make you feel like it's possible. Part of the problem is, you're probably the only person that you know who is trying to chase down big, scary, ambitious goals. The people around you aren't doing it. You're the one supporting them, and nobody's supporting you. And so you need to be around more of those people. And if you can't get it, actual physical people in your life, then you get videos. Hey, hello, Espresso, welcome. Hi, good morning, let's do it, right? If these videos do it for you, great. That's why I make these videos every day. That's why I make so many videos on all the channels every day. And if it's me, great, I'm honored and humbled to be a part of your journey. And if it's not me, awesome, somebody else. But read a book, watch videos, listen to podcasts, however you learn best, whatever gets you, even more than the strategies, is the energy. It's the energy transfer. When you're watching a great video, hopefully this one, I'm giving you energy, at least I'm trying to give you the energy that I've got here and pump it into your soul to get you to the point where you can actually go do the scary thing that you know you want to do. So whatever makes you feel that way, you have to be around it every day, because there's too much of status quo in your life. There's too much of mediocrity in your life, and the people around you, just that mindset that, okay, this is the way it is and I can't change it. This is the way it is, this is the hand I was dealt, and so this is how I'm gonna live my life now, right? Like most people are just stuck in that negative, restrictive mindset. And the more that you're around that, that's what you're gonna adopt. It's really hard to fight against it. So you do it by supplementing with all sorts of inspiration, motivation, ideas, energy, right? Look, it's super cloudy here in Toronto. I'll take a vitamin D supplement. I need my vitamin D. You need a belief supplement every day in your life to help you realize your potential, to help you actually come closer to it, to not just know you're capable of more, but actually give you the energy to create the steps to make it happen. So step number one is you have to, again, breathe, go outside, change your environment, get back to a place where you can actually receive a message. Two, every single day, have something, energy, books, resources, podcasts, videos like this that make you feel bold, courageous, and that things are possible. And then three, remind yourself there's always a way. There's always a way. You haven't even come close. I've tried everything. You haven't even come close to trying everything. How many things have you tried? 20? There's a million things you can do. You have not even come close. And don't use that as a beat yourself down. That's a push forward to say, there's a million more ideas inside me. There's a million more ideas inside me that I can use to accomplish this goal. There is always a way. Remind yourself, make it your mantra, put it on a t-shirt. There is always a way, and you are going to find it.
Rule number 5, work hard and smart.
You have to work hard and smart. It's not one or the other. People ask me all the time, Evan, do I have to work hard or do I have to work smart? Both. The answer is both. All of your heroes, all the people you look up to, all the people you want to be like, all the people who've accomplished what you want to accomplish, they do both. They work very hard and they work smart. If you only focus on one, you're not going to accomplish the mission, the goals that you're after. Hard work is your ticket in. Nobody has accomplished anything of any significance without a lot of hard work. A lot. It's your ticket in. But hard work alone isn't enough. There are plenty of people, myself included when I was first starting my company, who worked hard. There's lots of people who work hard. There's people here, at Costco. Can you see the Costco sign? There's a lot of people here at Costco who will work really hard, who don't get ahead, who don't accomplish their goals. There's lots of people that you know who work really hard. Maybe your parents, maybe your friends, maybe your family. You know they're not just mailing it in. You know they're working really hard, and yet they're earning minimum wage. They're not moving any closer to their dreams. They've maybe even given up on their big dreams in life. So hard work alone isn't enough, but it's your ticket in. It has to be both. Work hard, work smart. So when I first started my business, I was working hard. I was working my face off. This is why I ended up not liking my life, was because I was working so hard and not getting results. I woke up every day. I turned down the 6-figure-a-year job to work every day, drive to my business partner's apartment, work at his dining room table because his little home office was too small for me to be in there. And I got there first thing in the morning and I left after it was dark, and I packed my bean salad lunch with me every day. And that was every day. Every day, wake up every day, do the same thing. Every day, do the same thing. Every day, do the same thing. Had no girlfriend, had no friends, had no money to be with friends, did basically nothing else. Woke up, went to his apartment, worked, nighttime, go home, rinse and repeat. And there's, I think, only so much you can do of that when you're getting no results. That just takes its toll. I was somebody who, whenever I put myself into something, whenever I put my mind on something, I would eventually get results, right? I mean, you've probably seen that yourself. You've put your effort towards something, you eventually see results. And here I was every single day, all day long, pouring everything I have into this business, and nothing was happening, nothing. And I'm making no money, and I'm feeling worthless, and I'm too embarrassed to tell my friends that it wasn't working, and I have all this pressure on myself to make this work, and starting to regret, why didn't I just go back and take that job that I could have had and all my friends were taking? So the hard work alone wasn't enough, and it broke me. It broke me. It got to the point where I told my business partner, I quit. I can't do this anymore. I need to feel like I'm a valuable human being. It fully broke me. And then, as you may have heard the story already, the next day I woke up and I said, I can't quit yet because I haven't given it everything. I don't want to look back on my life and regret this moment right here. Regret this moment as the time where I knew I could have done a little bit more. I had a little bit left in the tank and I quit. I didn't want to look back on my life and regret this moment right now. But I couldn't just keep doing these things the same way I was doing it. And that's where I asked myself the magical question of who has done this thing before and how can I learn from their success? Now I call it modeling success. And now it's a default strategy I use for anything I'm trying to do that I don't know how to do. You don't know how to do something? Model success. The success leaves clues, it will teach you. But when I was first getting started, I had no idea what it was called. It was a measure of last resort because I didn't want to quit. And that's where I discovered Bill Gates. That's where I discovered his story, how he started, led to my first deal for $13,500, and then the rest is history, and the company grew. That was the start of me working smart. I was working hard, and not getting results. When I combined it with working smart, that's when things started to take off. A lot of people are just trying to work smart. and that's not gonna get you anywhere either if you're not working hard. It has to be in that combination. So how do you do it? How do you actually start working smart and working hard at the same time? Well, first off is your actions have to map to your ambitions. So look at your calendar. Look at the life that you want. And when I'm saying working hard, it's not just working hard for your business, it's working hard for the life that you want. What kind of life do you want? What kind of relationships do you want? What do you want your body to look like? What kind of life do you want? And then put that in your calendar. So if you want to have great relationships, then where in your calendar are you spending time on your relationships? Whether that's your intimate relationship and you're spending time every day connecting, whether that's your friend relationships and you're spending time every week doing something, whether it's your parents and you want to call your mom every week, like put it in your calendar. We often only put our business stuff in our calendar, and then our health and our relationships massively suffer because of it. It's very typical for entrepreneurs. You only put your business stuff in your calendar, and what gets put in your calendar, you're way more likely to actually go off and do, but then everything else falls aside. Everything else falls aside because you haven't prioritized it. You have to put in your calendar. Put your me time in your calendar. Put your fitness time, your health time in your calendar. Put your relationship time in your calendar. Put your work time in your calendar too. So you should be able to look at your calendar over the next week and see from up above to say, okay, if I did these things that are in my calendar, am I moving closer to the life that I want to be living? Am I moving closer to my health, relationship, business, financial goals? Yes, great, do it. No, great, go back and tweak it. Most people don't have the clarity to actually create that for themselves in their life. So step number one is your actions have to map to your ambitions, okay? Step number two is you model success. You find the people who've accomplished those things in different areas. I love learning different things from different people. Your goal is not to be the next Elon Musk. Your goal is to be the best you, but you can take a piece from Elon Musk. I look at Elon Musk and say, I want to be a visionary like Elon Musk. I am wowed by the scale and the size of his thinking. I love it. It makes me want to think bigger and play a bigger game. Every time, it's great. I don't want to be a father like Elon Musk. I don't want to be a husband like Elon Musk. I would rather be a father and a husband like my father is. And so that's great. You learn different things from different people. You've got different goals. You have financial goals and health goals and personal goals and relationship goals and business goals and all of those goals. You find the best inside of those and you model them. You are around them every day. It's why I make all the videos that I do on my channels to introduce you to different people so that you have different models of success. And every single day I'm making videos across all these different channels to try to hit you in a lot of different ways with a new mentor who might be able to guide you. So whatever you don't know what to do, model the people who have done it. If there is a shortcut, if there's a hack for life, that's it. Success leaves clues. Go find the people and look at how they started, not how he does it now or she does it now, but how did they start? How did it go from just having that goal and struggling to actually accomplishing stage one of the goal? So step number one is your actions have to map to your ambitions. Step number two is you model success. And step number three is, I don't see it as work. Don't see work as work. People ask me, how much are you working? I don't know. I don't actually keep track. Is it 40 hours? Is it 60 hours? Is it 100 hours? I don't know. What's work? Is this work? This doesn't work for me. This doesn't feel like work. I'm sitting here making videos for you while Nina's inside, at the Costco. Can you see the Costco? Did I already try this? Maybe not. Anyway, at the Costco, getting groceries and running our errands, and we're with the dogs here, and I'm making videos. This doesn't feel like work to me. I wouldn't classify it as, I'm going to my job. I love this stuff. This is great. If Nina was hanging out with her friends on a Friday afternoon and I wasn't invited, there's an 85% chance I'm gonna be working on something. Ooh, I got 4 extra hours to free up to do something by myself. Great. There's a 15% chance I'm playing League of Legends and an 85% chance I'm working on some new project. But I don't see it as work. And I think if you study successful people, they'll see that over and over and over again, is that they love what they're doing so much that it's not work, that you get lost in it. It's not a job that they have to go to. It actually becomes the escape because they love it so much. And so think about your own process. Do you actually love the work that you're doing and don't see it as work, but see it as just an extension of who you are? So if you want to work super hard and work super smart as well to accomplish your goals, step number 1 is your actions have to map to your ambitions. Step number 2 is model success and find the people who've done it. And step number 3, don't see your work as work.
Rule number 6, inoculate yourself against judgment.
The more you live your life based on what other people think of you, you're going to lose. You're going to lose. Listen, you're an entrepreneur. You want to do crazy things. You have a bold, ambitious vision for what you want to accomplish in your life. You want to change the way something's done in an industry, right? That's what we want to do. We want to change the world. You know what? There's a lot of people who want to protect the world, the status quo. They want to protect the way things are done. You want to come in and shake up an industry? There's a lot of people who want to protect that industry. There's a lot of people who don't like change. There's a lot of people who are so afraid of seeing you be successful because it means that they suck. Right? There's a lot of people who will, in your environment, in your family, in your home, your friends, people who they don't want to see you win because it means they suck, because you've left them, because it means that they're not good anymore, because they judge themselves based off of what everybody else is doing. And a lot of people have someone in their family who went off and crushed it, and they tried it, and then they failed, right? They tried it, they may have had some success, and then they failed, and now nobody else around them is allowed to be successful. All they want to do is pull everybody else down. They took their shot, ultimately didn't work, now they pull everybody else around them. You can't let that be you. The more you want to go off and have a bold, ambitious life for yourself, the more you're going to have to learn to what I call inoculate yourself against judgment. You need to inoculate yourself against judgment. The judgment of your friends, your parents, the people around you, the general public, social media. Inoculate yourself against judgment. As long as you care what other people think of you, you will lose. You will play small forever. You will not be living your version of your life. And so how do you do it? How do you inoculate yourself against judgment? Here's how it goes. Anytime you feel your heart beating, boom, 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 boom. Your heart's beating, you're nervous, you're scared, you're worried about what somebody's going to think of you, you have to do the thing. You train yourself. Even if it's not an expression of you, even if you don't really care about doing that thing or not, you have to do it just to train yourself. Something like this would have been really difficult for me 10 years ago. Filming on the street was really hard. I'd be worried about what people think of me. I'd be worried about me standing here in San Francisco, people walking by, what they think of me. Yelling into my phone, yelling into this microphone here, talking to you guys right here. It's scary. And so because there's potential judgment, you get scared and then you don't do the thing. Teach yourself to do the thing. If filming in public sounds like a scary thing to you, like, oh, I couldn't do that, go do it. Go find the busiest street that you can find and then go make a video. And here's the thing, expect it to suck. You're not gonna be great the first time you do something, that's okay. Expect to suck, expect it to be the worst video you've ever made. And then pat yourself on the back and say, I did it.
Rule number 7, the last one before our very special bonus clip, find mentors.
I'm a big believer in mentorship. One, in terms of face-to-face people that you can go and learn from, and two, from what I call aspirational mentors, people who've done a lot more than you, who you may never meet, who may have passed on, but you can still learn from their success. It comes from the core understanding that whatever challenge you have in front of you right now, somebody else has already solved it. Whatever big problem you're facing in your life or in your business, somebody has already solved it, and you don't need to come up with every ingenious solution yourself. This is one of the things that saved my first business. One of the 2 most important lessons that I've ever learned in my life was whenever I don't know what to do, whenever I have a big problem and I don't have the answer, I look for somebody who has already solved it and I try to learn from their lessons. In my first business, I had a software company. I was struggling, making $300 a month, barely able to survive. And I was just trying to come up with all these ideas myself. Like, okay, how about we do this? How about we do this? How about we do this? And nothing was working. And I told my partner I quit, and it was the worst day of my life. And when I woke up the next day, I realized I didn't want to quit. I just couldn't keep going the way I was going. And the light bulb moment was I realized I'm not the first guy to try to sell software before. Maybe our specific kind of software, yes, but in general, other people have figured out how to sell software and make lots of money and target lots of customers. How did they do it? And I looked at Bill Gates and how he got started, and that started the process to me being able to build a real company. And that lesson that I learned at 19 years old has stayed true for the past almost 20 years, where every time I don't know what to do, I look at who can I model. It's why the name of this channel is Modeling the Masters. It's why I try to showcase lots of different successful people from all walks of life, because you can learn from them. I'm learning from them. And even today, in all my different businesses, earlier this week, I went to SoulCycle with Alex. So SoulCycle is a spinning company that has a great culture, recently came to Toronto. I think they're based in New York, it might be LA. But they came to Toronto, they opened up a location, and I heard so much about their culture that I thought, I'm trying to build a culture here at TDS. We have what I think is a really good culture. If you can compare our culture to most businesses, I think it's amazing, but it could always be better, right? I want to model even greater success. And so Alex and I went to their class and we learned from them. We saw how they set up their store and their merch and how the staff greets you and how the instructor starts a class and runs a class and ends a class and what happens in the locker room. Like all the different pieces, you learn from them. It doesn't mean you're gonna apply everything, but if you take one lesson here, one lesson here, one lesson here from people and companies that have had great success, it just makes you better. And so I would seek out mentors that you can meet face-to-face, or you can do now Google Hangouts with, or ask questions from. If anybody's doing a live stream, you get a chance to ask a question. I wish that existed when I was getting started as an entrepreneur. You know, you have so much more access to people than we've ever had before, but even if you're not going to the direct approach and hitting somebody, look into the aspirational mentors. Finding people who've done it before, even if they've passed on, their legacy have left a series of clues that if you can follow those clues, you can apply it to your life, to your business, to achieve success. Whenever you don't know what to do, instead of trying to figure it all out yourself, understand people have done it before, seek them out, learn from them, apply it to your business, and you can have success as well.
Now I've got a special bonus clip that I think you're gonna enjoy, but before that, it's time for the good deed of the day. This is something new. I believe that you're built to serve, and it feels so good to do something nice for somebody else. So good deed of the day, put down in the comments one thing that you need help with, that you're working on, that you'd love some support or guidance on, and then 2, go comment on somebody else's comment and give them some love, give them some support, give them some encouragement, maybe give them some connections, try to help them solve that problem, even if it's saying, I believe in you. That one little bit of encouragement can be the difference between somebody quitting and continuing on. So the good deed of the day, in the comments below, write down one thing that you need help on, that you're struggling with, that you're working on, and then part 2 is go give love to somebody else in the comments too, and let them know that you believe in them as well.
If you woke up and did the thing that made you feel bold and unstoppable and powerful and confident every single day, if you started your day with that thing, your life would look dramatically different 1 year from today compared to where you currently are right now. The problem is most people wake up like an accident. Most people, they wake up, they check their phone, and they're immediately responding to other people's emergencies and demands on your time. You're not in control. You haven't decided to take control of your day, that your day is important, that your life is important, and you are going to take ownership of it. And so you need to block off the time in the morning. It may be 5 minutes, maybe you need 15, maybe you need an hour and a half, whatever it is. The thing that makes you feel bold, unstoppable, powerful, confident, fill your cup every single day, because other people have demands to your time and they won't fill your cup for you. You have to say, this is my ownership right here. Nobody's touching it. I'm taking charge. Now that looks different for different people. How Oprah does it is different than how I do it, is different than how Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson does it. Dwayne Johnson has to get his 4 hours of workout in every day. When he's working on a movie set and he has to be in by 9, he'll wake up at 4 in the morning so he can go work out for 4 hours and then go back and shower and get ready for his movie. So he's only sleeping 5 hours a day when he's doing movies. I think that's crazy. But to him, that's balance. That's him filling his cup. That's him reminding himself of what he's doing. He loves working out. That's why I don't look like Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, right? There's a difference between us. I would rather sleep. I would rather do something else in the morning. And so we tend to look at what we're doing against somebody else. You tend to look at Oprah and say, well, she's doing it this way, I need to do that. Dwayne's doing it this way, I need to do that. Evan's doing it this way, I need to do that. You judge yourself against other people's routines and methods of filling their cup. And I think that's actually a recipe for failure, because you are not that person, because what works for them is not going to be the exact same thing that works for you. Here's the good news. You already know what fills your cup. You already know what makes you feel bold and alive and full of momentum and confidence. You have had that happen to you in the past. You're just not living there consistently.
You know what has helped you feel full, but you're living there 1% of the time. And 99% of the time you spend reacting to other people, their demands, their emergencies, their issues for your time. And so, reverse engineer it for yourself. When was the last time you felt filled up, motivated, confident, bold, excited? What happened? What were you doing? What led to that thing to happen? Were you watching a video? Were you listening to a podcast? Were you reading a book? Were you going to an event, a seminar? Were you outside? You know, I'm sitting here on a swing here outside. Were you outside? Do you need to get out in nature? Do you need to meditate? Do you need to have a shower? Do you need to dance to music? Like, what's the thing? Without judgment, without caring if anybody else has to do that thing. Maybe you need to wake up every day and pet your frog, and that's a thing that makes you feel amazing. Great, do that. Plan for it every single morning, because I guarantee you, if you did the thing that helped fill your cup, that made you feel bold and unstoppable and confident and powerful, if all you did was wake up every day and did that thing, your life would be dramatically different 1 year from today compared to where you are right now. You will not recognize your life. So please stop waking up like an accident and put this into your morning routine every single day.
If you are not happy in life, it's because you're not serving enough. I believe that humans are good. 99.999% of humans are good. There's a tiny little fraction of a percent of people who enjoy giving harm and hurting others because they have some chemical imbalance. But apart from that, people are good and we are connected to each other. Your highest purpose in life will come from helping others. But the next question becomes, how? How do I do it? How do I find my higher purpose? How do I know what I'm supposed to do? How do I get direction? I'm going to give you the 3-step process that I call the purpose planner that will give you the clarity that you're looking for. I break it down into your who, your why, and your how. Let's start with the who. Your who is your one word, most important core value. Everybody has a core value. If you're a human being, you have a core value that you believe in more than anything else. And when you understand who you are, when you understand your single most important core value, then you're less likely to be swayed by other people. You're less likely to live somebody else's version of your life because they have clarity and you don't. When you do not have clarity, you end up chasing everybody else's clarity. You end up doing their version because they have certainty and you have no idea what you're doing. It's like you're walking on quicksand and you're constantly sinking and you know that there's something greater for you. Your one word, your most important core value is the rock that you stand on when the rest of the world is crumbling around you. So for me, it's believe. My one word is believe. That's what I stand on. If you love believe, you're going to be a huge fan of this channel because I talk about it in some form in every video. Every video should ooze believe. If you hate believe, you're probably gone by now. You hate my channel and that's okay. Go do your thing somewhere else. You need to figure out your who. You need to figure out what your one word, most important core value is. That becomes the lens through which you see your entire world and attracts the goodness into your life. Step number 2 is your why. Why do you do what you do? Now, I'm a big believer that your purpose comes from your pain. That whatever your most painful moment was in life, whatever you struggled with the most growing up in life, whatever moment in life you felt the most worthless as a human being, your highest purpose, your greatest joy and satisfaction will come from helping people who are currently feeling the way that you felt, who are currently facing that situation that you were in, that you hated. The thing that you would never wish upon anybody else in the world, lots of people are going through that thing. And if you can step in and help those people, that's going to be so filling up your soul, I can't even explain it to you. For me, my one word is believe. That's my who. My why is I struggled so much as an entrepreneur. I hated my life. I was struggling. I was making $300 a month. I felt worthless as a human. I felt like I was bringing no value to the world. And that was massively frustrating. I felt alone and I didn't know what to do. That's why I love helping entrepreneurs. I love believing in entrepreneurs. Why entrepreneurs? It could be anybody. I could believe in anybody. Believe is at the core of who I am. It's my one word, most important core value, but I could be believing in anybody. And I do, and I love it. But entrepreneurs hold that special spot for me. And the startup entrepreneurs, not the ones who are already making tons of money. I love them too, but I resonate so much more with the startup entrepreneurs because I remember what it's like eating at McDonald's and only being able to afford French fries instead of an entire meal. So your why, your purpose comes from your pain. Figure out what that most painful moment was for you. And it's hard because entrepreneurs, we like looking and being optimistic and looking forward and being positive, but it's in that pain that your answer actually is. Find out what that most painful moment was. Your why, your highest purpose will come from helping people who are currently facing that right now. And then step 3 is the how. So how are you going to do it? There's a lot of ways that you can help people who are in that situation. So for me, break it down. The who is my one word, is believe. The why is helping entrepreneurs. Purpose comes from my pain. Now, how do I help entrepreneurs? How do I believe in entrepreneurs? There's a ton of ways that I could be believing in entrepreneurs. So the example I use is if you are moving your office and you need my help to rent a moving truck and to help you carry your desks and all of that stuff. I love the end result of it. I love that now you have this great office where you can build a business and have it flourish. And I'll probably say yes to helping you do that, especially if you're a close friend. But I don't love the process of moving. I don't love the process of packing up boxes. I don't love the process of setting up cables and wires and putting together an office. I don't love that process. I love the result because I'm believing in entrepreneurs, but I don't love the process. And so if you write down, you make a list of all the things that you do, the activities that you have done, that you've enjoyed the result. Make a list of 10 to 15 times you've helped somebody with that same pain that you had growing up. You've helped them and you enjoyed the end result. And then circle the ones where you enjoyed the process as well. Because when you can enjoy the process and you enjoy the end result, it's a home run. Now you've found your higher purpose. Now you have clarity. Now you have a plan. That's the point of the purpose planner. Step 1, you figure out your who, your one word, most important core value. Step 2, you figure out your why. Your purpose comes from your pain, the thing that you never want anybody to ever have to experience again because it was so painful for you. And then step 3 is the how, the process. You need to love the process. You figure out those 3 things, you are set for life.
There is no perfect first step. There is no perfect plan. There is no perfect time to get started. A lot of people are so held up on finding what the perfect first thing is to do that they do nothing. And that's the ultimate failure. The ultimate failure is doing nothing and just sitting on this idea and never taking any kind of action for it because you're worried about making a misstep. You're worried about making a mistake. You're worried that it's not perfect. Your perfectionism is killing you. It's preventing you from doing amazing things in your life and with a business. You take any step. You have a vision, here's what I want to accomplish, here's my goal, I want to write a book, I want to start a company, I want to, whatever it is, whatever first step comes to mind, go out and do that. And then adjust. You can have the best plan in the world, right? And I'm all for business planning. It's not just, I'm just going to throw an idea out there and see what happens, right? You can plan, you can model success, you can look at what has worked for people, but you have to go out and do it. Because the best plan is obsolete as soon as you start executing on it. And this is what almost killed my first business. This is how I learned the lesson because I was that guy. I was the perfectionist. I didn't want to do anything until I had it all figured out. And you only later realize that what you think you figured out, you have no idea what you're talking about because you haven't gone out and done anything yet. I lost a $40 million deal in my first company. I was making $300 a month, sucking in my company, turned it around, started making an income, and had an opportunity to sell my business for $40 million, and I lost it to my biggest competitor because I had to have the perfect plan, because I spent an entire summer working on the perfect plan, and I was too late to the table. I was looking the wrong way. What made great sense on paper wasn't actually what was going to happen in the market, and I lost a $40 million deal because of it. That kills. That sucks. I was 22 years old. It's important to plan, but you need to do. And don't get so hung up on having the perfect step. Don't worry what the first step is. People write in and say, what's my first step? It doesn't matter. Something. Do something, and then do something again tomorrow, and do something again the next day, and every day you get a little bit better. Start taking massive action. That's how you're gonna get that idea out of your head, finally, and out into the world so you can start reaping the benefits and having a big impact on this world like you are meant to do.
If you want to learn how to start taking action on your dreams, check out the video next to me. I think you're gonna enjoy it. Continue to believe. I will see you there.
And so the brain can only imagine a world that currently exists, right? It's logical, it's practical, it's what currently exists, where your heart can create something brand new that hasn't existed yet before. Yet.